Hi everyone, my name is Natalie, and our presentation is on technology in the classroom. I'm Alex.
I'm Mary. I'm Paige. Right now we're just passing out a sheet so you can all see the link to the website that we have pulled up right now.
Alright, so in 2003, 71% of the U.S. population ages over 3 use the internet. About 91% of administrators say effective use of educational technology is critical to the mission of high school achievement. In the present 21st century, the use of technology is becoming more preponderant, especially in education. 4.16 million students are trying at least one of their courses online. Tablets are basically replacing textbooks, and at any point in time, a student can research anything on their smartphone. About 50% of students ages 10 to 18 go online for homework help at least once a week, and students in the young generation basically live off social media, and educators are now realizing the importance of integrating technology and education as one. With new ways of learning and teaching, we must embrace the benefits of technology to help us shape the new ways of learning and different ways that we learn. There are multiple uses for technology when it comes to education. The addition of technology in the classroom can only aid students in achieving success. First off, technology helps prepare students for the future, including jobs. As of 2016, corporations are using electronic learning as their second most important method of training staff. Not only does it save the corporation money, but it also saves time. Online classes tend to be around 25 to 60% shorter than traditional instructor-led classes, so the retention rate of students will be higher. Also, technology helps students learn at their own pace. In a typical high school setting, a student has access to a teacher 40 minutes per day. That means she has access to that teacher 5% of his or her waking day, and even that time is shared with 25 other classmates. On the other hand, he or she has access to the internet 100% of the time. Lastly, with integrating technology and education, connecting with other students is extremely easier now with technology. A new vital skill in the new world is the ability to collaboratively work on projects with others who may not be physically close. But now this is done with the computer, email, text messaging, instant message, and FaceTime.
So first and foremost, an educator's job is to prepare students for the future. Well, in order to do so, incorporating mobile technology in the classroom is key, and I will be talking about the pros of technology. So working with mobile devices will not only be a part of students' everyday lives as adults, but also vital to many of their career paths. Knowing how to appropriately So studies actually show that you retain more from print text than digital text. So by just Googling something, chances are you're not actually retaining that information as if you're reading a textbook. It also raises instructional challenges because teachers need to include it into their lesson plan. If they do not incorporate it the right way, it actually can be used more as just busy work or it will just be useless in general. And it diminishes the value of in-person education the more we use technology. Excessive screen time also is linked to childhood obesity, sleep disturbances, and can even impair school performance if it's not used in the proper way, which is also where the teacher comes in to make sure that it is used in the right way. And lastly, disconnect of social interaction, because everyone is working and communicating through technology, so we're not having that face-to-face communication as much because we're just all on like our apps and everything, and that's how we're doing all our group work instead of actually meeting up and doing it all together person to person.
So technology is a huge part in our society today, as everyone knows. Who here has a phone or a smartphone? Okay. And with that phone, who can go right onto the internet with it? So basically everyone in this room can just at the palm of their hands, they can go Google, they can look up homework assignments, they can go on any social media. It's just right there, and it's like everyone nowadays wants everything quicker, faster. And so that's why technology in the classroom can be a positive thing as well, because you're bringing in a quicker way of learning. So for those students who have a harder time just like listening to a teacher's lecture, they're not as, they have to be more interactive. You can use technology in that way to help further their education and help everyone learn on the same level. So we passed out a sheet that has a website on it, and that's the website that we currently have pulled up. And if everyone could go to this website on phones that I'm sure everyone has with them and use the internet to go to it. So just take a little time and just go to the bottom and take the practice test that's right here. And when you click on it, it should pop up. And so for this in the classroom, teachers can use this type of thing like a Google Docs poll, or they can even use other websites to make a poll, and you can just create questions in the classroom for your classmates and students to learn. So these are just very simple questions, but this is just like another way for teachers to get everyone interacting and on the same page, like they could use it for after a chapter they read, or just any kind of in-class assignment to help everyone make sure that they're on the same page, and it's more fun too.
And this one's all the way at the bottom, except the one that's at the top. That's a different one. Just make sure you scroll down.
Yeah, so this one will engage more class participation like she was talking about. I know it may be a little more fun than just paper. You can do quizzes or tests on this. You can do your in-class assignments, in-class tests, or take home quizzes through technology. You don't have to be in the room. It's also good because, let's say an emergency happens, you can't make it to class, or if the teacher calls off saying that an emergency happened, you can easily access this as well. You don't have to be in the classroom.
We'll just give a couple minutes for everyone to finish that out.
And this is an example of technology not working. Oh, there we go.
Okay, so we also have a poll.
All the way
So
at the top.
for some of these questions, there might be multiple answers that you have, but just pick your favorite method of whatever the question is asking. And then we'll go over the results once everyone's done.
So you can find this one right at the top. It says, before we begin, please take our survey.
Oh, is this limited to 25 people?
Um,
communication. Like I said, if an emergency happens, we have options. We can use technology as well as talk in person. So I am a strong believer that not all people are going to learn the same way, no matter how many times it's taught. I'm sure there has been some instances where there's always that one student who is just not understanding the content, or you have to explain it multiple times, but they still don't seem to understand. So I was that student at some point in my life. I couldn't understand how the class was getting all the results, and I wasn't. So for me, I had to look for different ways of learning. What I went to was an iPad. An iPad gave me the ability to go to different websites, and I could access videos, I could access pictures, or how-to guides on how to solve the math problem. I think that some people may think that that student is not as intelligent or is not paying attention or just doesn't care about the subject. But it doesn't mean that. It simply just means that they're not, that's not the right way that they learn. So we have to look for various ways for them to learn. So I think we as teachers, and I say we because we are also teaching the following generations. So we as teachers need to find new ways of teaching and different techniques that can benefit students like I was. Teachers should also understand that everyone is different and therefore has different ways of learning, communicating, and they require different types of help and tools in order to succeed in school. So this way, by incorporating technology into the classroom, you're opening doors for those students who don't understand just for writing on the board or can't understand the subject just by handing them papers. In my high school, they gave us iPads, and my class didn't take notes at all. 50% did, 50% didn't. When we got the iPads, I realized that 100% of us were taking notes, either on paper or the iPad. And this, I feel like it gave us options, or it didn't limit us to just writing on paper, but it also gave us it was a choice if we wanted to write or type it. So I think that's why we, as a whole, increased the number of notes that were taken in that class. So as a student, I feel like we should get to know ourselves, get to know our way of learning, and like I said, by opening doors, we're helping out those students who are kinesthetic learners, musical, auditory, and we're introducing them to new acts and different ways of learning. So as I was saying, as students, we should get to know ourselves,